This is Renee, and welcome to my own little world. I recently received a letter in the mail.
Then I have a Dreamcatcher photo card, which my friend Renee is actually... Dreamcatcher are actually one of her two ults. I don't think this is her bias, I think this is... Oh my god, I'm so bad. Juyan. I only know the names because of my friend, because she loves showing me Dreamcatcher things. So yeah, I am gifting this to her, but let's keep it for Io for now.
And Yuhyun arrived safely along with some K-drama recommendations, a guide to NCT, and some other nice stationery and extras. And I decided to send my friend Danny a letter back. And with this Penpal video, I am going to start by decorating the envelope, which is kind of a random order, but for me it made sense to decorate the envelope first. And with this Penpal video and this Penpal letter, I decided to go with kind of a brown winter bear-ish theme, because Danny and I both really like V's solo songs, and V is one of Danny's biases in BTS, and I decided to use my stamps on some scrap paper from like a book, and I decided to do that first because the ink dries pretty slowly, so I wanted to make sure that it was completely dry when it was time to actually write the letter. And after setting that aside, I got right into decorating the envelope. And I printed out some pictures of Taehyung beforehand that kind of fit the theme. And I wanted to make it look kind of vintage, so I decided to tear most of my paper. And in the middle, I decided to put some ruled paper that I am going to be writing the address on later on. And after decorating it with some stickers, the envelope is done. And with this Penpal letter, I am going to be using a lot of tan paper to really suit the vibe. And I'm also going to be making a waterfall card, and I already pre-cut some things for it in preparation. This waterfall card is like 22 centimeters by 6 centimeters because the images that I'm going to be putting on it are 6 by 6 centimeters. And I used the tutorial, and I will link the tutorial up in the cards if there's enough space for it, and also in the description. And I decided to make my waterfall card double-sided, and I also tried to use Taehyung and Yoongi pictures because Taehyung and Yoongi are Danny's biases in BTS. After gluing them down, I made the final part that you are supposed to wrap around the waterfall card in order to make it work. glued that down with some tape. I wasn't sure if this was going to work because this is actually my first time making a waterfall card, and it didn't go as smooth as I hoped it would go. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I made it double-sided, which makes the paper heavier, but I don't know what went wrong. It could have gone a lot smoother, but hey. And to stay within the theme of Winter Bear, I decided to make the end of the waterfall card into a kind of a bear shape. And I also made a tiny envelope from the same tan paper, and I am also making a bigger version of that envelope, and I will show you how I fold it. This is a piece of paper that's 16 by 16 centimeters, and as you can see, I fold it a couple times, and I decided to do it pretty slowly so you can actually see what I'm doing, hopefully. The folding didn't go as smooth as I wanted it to, and I think that's because the paper is pretty thick, and I do recommend using a thinner paper because with thicker paper it's harder to fold precisely. And then it's time to glue down the ends. And this is the look. And to keep it within the theme, I decided to make a bear shape to put on the cover of the envelope. And I drew that the same way as I did with the waterfall card. And then I just glue it on top. And there you have a Winter Bear envelope. I also made a Spotify playlist with some Class A B-sides from Dreamcatcher because I do really love Dreamcatcher and Danny only knows the title tracks, so I figured I would make a playlist so he knows those two. And this project was kind of a fail. I used a Sharpie or permanent marker on the balloon, and you'll see later in this video what happened with that. I don't recommend using that kind of marker. I do recommend using a Posca pen instead, but even that stained, so I don't really know. I wanted to make kind of a Winter Bear themed balloon to go with the whole vibe, but it didn't go as planned. I decided to keep the card that I was going to send to him pretty simple. And then it's time to add the waterfall card and the extras to the card. I glued down the final piece on the waterfall card. And I decided to glue the tiny envelope in the card. And I wanted to add some cute faces to the bears. And I also wrote down some instructions. And the stamps were finally dry, so I could use them in my card. At first glance, the markers seemed to be dry, but when I let all the air out of the balloon, ink like literally fell off and got everywhere, and it also got on my card and I panicked completely. So I decided to throw that idea in the bin. And off camera later I decided to try it again with some Posca Pens, and that seemed to work a lot better. But the key is to let it dry. Maybe I was too hasty with it and too impatient with it, and maybe it needed to dry for a longer period of time, but it spilled ink everywhere, so... And here I am making a selection of stickers that I want to send to him. And I decided to put a little Taehyung in the inside of the envelope as well. And then it's time to collect some other extras. I know that he really likes using these pieces of cardboard paper with glitters, so I decided to send a lot of those in different designs to him. I made 2 washi samples, and I also made that into the winter bear theme as well, and I gave the washi samples some cute bear ears. With the washi samples, I decided to go with the color purple, which is not within the color theme of this Penpal letter, but I mean, I Purple You is also fee related, so that's why I thought that it would still go with the whole theme. And then it's time to actually write the letter. also decided to cut out some tiny Taehyungs, and I wanted to put them into the tiny envelope along with the little winter bears that I punched out. And I also decided to add some tea to the washi samples, and I picked out the Autumn Storm tea because I found that it kind of suited the whole winter bear vibe. And then I tied all the extras up. Now, Danny made a reaction video where he is opening this envelope and this Penpal letter, so if you want to check that out and check out the rest of his 2 channels, I highly recommend, and I will put it in the cards and in the description. I hope you liked this video. Stay hydrated, stay tuned, and until my next video, bye!